All right, so let's do this. See if I can show you how this is done. Here we have this lamb carcass here. Now, this is the incisions that you want to make. These are the legs, okay? These are the arms. The incisions you want to make are going to be at the thinnest points here. So you're going to make one incision here, one incision here, one incision here, one incision here. Now, basically what you're going to do, this is going to make what's called like a hole, right? Because you cut a hole in the lamb. So let's see if I could do this properly. Hold up. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull this piece right here this way. So because there's a hole, you can stick this this piece right here. You can stick it through the hole. If that makes any sense, you're going to want to stick this through this hole right here. And so what happens is as you stick this through the hole, you're going to pull this through the hole, and then you're going to want to stick the leg through that hole. So basically, as you pulled the, see, this is the hole, this is the hole over here. You're going to pull if I can show you, these are the two holes. You're going to pull one hole through the other one like this, right? So that hole goes through it, and then you're going to put the lamb's leg through this hole, right? As you pull through that one. Now with the lamb leg, you're going to want to cut off about here. It's a little hard, but basically what you want to do is you want to cut it when it's flat, and as you're cutting it, bend the elbow, and you're going to see all the little ligaments that are holding it through the elbow, and you want to closely cut off the small ligaments until it just snaps off. And then you're going to want to cut, see, this is the part that's going to come off right here. You're going to want to cut it right in the middle of it, all the way around. And so there's like this, basically this ring of cut. So it's basically in two pieces, but the bone is holding it. When you stick it through this hole here, the hole goes through. The top of the sinew of the muscle of the that hole that went through it is going to go inside of that slice and hold it by itself, if that makes any sense. And then you're going to do the same thing with this one with the other arm, and what that's going to do is that's going to completely close this part out. Okay, you're done with this part now. You don't have to worry about this. Halfway through cooking the lamb, you're going to want to grab the arms that are there, and you're going to want to twist them so the other side cooks. Okay, that was simple. Now, the legs, there's going to be a pole here. Let me see if I can okay, you're going to want to take this leg, and then you want to take this leg, and you want to cross the legs over like this onto the pole. You're going to want to grab string. What you want to do is not only one wire, you're going to want to double it. So grab what you think you need and then double it. And then you're going to take double the wire, and you're going to wrap it around multiple times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, until you can't go no more, you're losing space, and then you're going to want to take that tip of the wire and basically just bend it, twist it until there's no more room, and then you're going to want to fold that piece of wire, because it's sharp, down so it's not going to poke anything. Next up, you're going to want to take this neck right here. Let's see, there's that pole again. You're going to want to bend the neck down. So the lamb carcass is like this, but the neck is going to stick up like that. This is a problem because the neck is going to cook before the rest of the meat cooks, and so if the neck sticks out like that, it's going to burn while the other meat is still raw. So you need to pull the head down, not the head, but the neck down as far as you can towards that pole. And while one person is holding as hard as they can, the other person does the same thing, double wired as the legs. You're going to want to go multiple times till there's no more room, and then you're going to twist it off and then shove that sharp part that's sticking up into the meat so it doesn't poke anybody. There is, in the middle of a pole, The middle pole, I will show you, like, I'll just do this. To make it obvious, I'm going to make it purple. About in the right here, you're going to have a hole the size of a quarter. Maybe even a nickel, okay? You're going to want to go with the wire through the rib cage from the outside, and then flipping over, you're going to want to go through the wire, through the pole. So from the rib cage from the outside, through the rib cage, into that hole in the metal pole, and then you're going to want to push it through outside to the outside from the other side. So in one side, through the hole, out the other side of the ribs. And then you're going to tie it right here. You're going to tie it. So you have sturdiness right here, you have sturdiness right here, and you have sturdiness right here. So it's holding it in 3 parts. If you don't do the middle part, what will happen is as the body is rotating, it'll like fall. It'll just, as it rotates, it gets to the top, it'll just free fall. But when you tie that in the middle, it's going to hold it while it twists upside down, so gravity can't take its toll. The last part are the ribs. These are the ribs right here. It's kind of the same idea as with the hole. You're going to take one wire. You don't have to do 2 on this. One wire through here, and then outside this outside this side, inside, and then outside. Tie it, right? And then you're going to tie it inside to the outside. Then you're going to tie it inside, outside, and then you're going to tie it. And you're going to probably want to do 4 or 5 of these. And what this is going to do is it's going to completely close the lamb from the inside. You know, you're going to completely close it. That way the lamb is not moving, and that way all the juices stay inside the lamb. And that's somebody at the door, and that'll be it. Actually, I'll show you. I'm not done yet. I will finish this part now. Okay. Does that make any sense, what I've said so thus far? All right. Okay. So, for the charcoal, remember, you can't just prepare the meat and then start the fire. The fire takes a second to create, because you can't start charcoal from nothing. You have to make a fire first and then put the charcoal into the fire to start the charcoal up. So you're probably half an hour before the lamb is ready. You're going to make a fire and let it burn. And then right before the lamb is ready to do everything, to put on, you're going to put on charcoal, and that's going to take about 15 minutes. And then you put the lamb on. Thick through here. Again, tie this down. Tie these up. These come off. They go here. Right, and also right here. Basically, hold on. Does that make any sense? Because because when you cut this part off here, it's even, it's flat, right? And then when you push this part up, this is going to be the largest chunk of meat in this. So now with the charcoal, what you're going to want to do, let's go spray can. You're going to want to put like this. This is going to be the shape. So not that much meat, it's the very legs. So the very legs is going to be thin. Right, you don't need too much up here. That's a waste of charcoal. And then you want to do basically a thin layer like this. And this is when you're looking down from the top into the metal barrel, right? Or whatever you're using. It's going to be like this. And this spot right here, this is where you want the majority. Neck comes down, you want to put charcoal on the side as well. And see how it's like fairly thin where the stomach is, because there's not much muscle there. It's basically skin, and then you have skin, and then you have that thin layer of muscle. There's not much to cook there. So if you put the same amount as you're putting with the thighs, like this, as you were putting where you would putting this would be cooked, this would be raw. Or this would be burnt, because this can burn very easily as well. This is very fatty, right? And this is about 3 hours to 3.5 hours, depending how cold it is. The colder it is, the longer it's going to take to cook the lamb, because as the lamb is rotating and it hits that cold air from the top, that's going to cool down and then it warms up again. But if it's not cold, say it's hot, it's like fucking 75 degrees outside, it's 80 degrees and you're making lamb, it's going to be 3 hours even, right? Because there's no coldness to cool down the lamb. It's just going to keep making it warmer. But see how what I mean by like the shape of the lamb is how you're going to put the shape of the coals. This is very important. Like this is one of the most important parts, because this is how well it's going to cook everything evenly. When you see you're running out of coal, you put coal to the side to cook, right? And this is not gonna, you don't want this part to be near the lamb, so it's not overcooking it. And when you see charcoal starting to run out over here, you slide this part over, and then you put new charcoal over here, and then you just repeat that process for about 3 to 3.5 hours. All right, I hope this helped, dude.